Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm in a very unique phase in my life, and I thought it would be fun to document what I'm getting up to right now and share it on YouTube because I think it might be interesting for you to follow along. It's Monday morning right now, and I thought it would be a perfect time to start a week in my lifestyle vlog. Lately, my weeks are looking quite different than they used to. Just over a month ago, I was part of a big layoff at my corporate 9-to-5 job, and ever since, I've been on a journey to discover what I actually want to do with my life and what my next career move is going to be. And while I figure that out, or maybe part of figuring that out is trying out as many creative projects as I can and just overall experimenting and trying out new things, which is what led me here. This is definitely a creative outlet that I've always been very attached to, and I think this format of a week in my life vlog will be a really cool way to share with you the things I'm trying and also to keep me accountable. So come along and see what I get up to this week. I do have a couple things on the agenda for today. So the first is that my partner and I are in the middle of rearranging a couple things in our home. I have a bit of tidying up and work to do related to that. And part of that is going to involve a trip to IKEA this afternoon because we need to pick up a couple things. And the last thing on the agenda for today is a merch design project that I need to do a little bit of work on. So yeah, hopefully we get to all of those things today. So we have a second bedroom in our apartment that we've been using as our shared office for the last 5 years. But yesterday morning, we had this idea to turn the office into a music room / his office because he's a musician and we just have music gear and instruments scattered everywhere in the apartment, and it's not necessarily the most aesthetic. We decided we would consolidate everything into that one room and he would do his work out of there, and then we would move my desk and all of my crafty stuff into our living room because we have this really long living room that's basically split up into two distinct halves, but one half, the one that doesn't have our TV and couch and is closer to the window, we were just never really utilizing it. We didn't know what to put there. It was basically just where we hung our laundry. So we decided to make this area my workspace, and it's really nice because it's right by the window. We have this big window here with a window seat, and it's like one of the few sources of natural light we have in our apartment. So it's really nice to actually get to use it. Since we had that idea yesterday, like 5 minutes later, we just started moving stuff. And then we had to leave for the rest of the day and left the apartment in a total disaster. So there's like a bunch of piles of stuff on the floor and just like a bunch of stuff I want to sort through and figure out where I'm putting everything. So I can show you. Here is the new space that we are working with. It's a complete mess right now. Obviously there's like piles all over the floor. There's the frames we took down from the office from my side. There's all my fabric. I'm probably going to get rid of this shelf and put something else there. Here's the window seat that I was talking about. I think we can do a lot more with that. Again, we've just like plopped stuff there for now, so ignore that. I've put my sewing machine there and my desk here. I'm gonna hang some stuff above. But yeah, that is what I'm currently working with. I'm excited to share the process of how this space comes together. It has been really nice sharing the office together for the last few years, but I'm definitely excited about having my own workspace, and I think he is as well. So he's also in the middle of setting up this room, so just ignore all of the mess. But this is my pegboard that I've been using for all my sewing stuff, and it was kind of a bit of a pain to set up. So I was a little bit nervous about taking it down and then setting it up out there again. But he said that he might want to have a pegboard as well to hang things like cables or like random music gear things, I don't even know what. So I think that is one of the things that we'll be picking up from IKEA tonight. want it in a cone, regular. Come on, live a little. Okay, so I just got back from IKEA and I thought I would show you everything I got. So first and most important thing to show is the potato chips with sour cream and onion flavor. I always get these. They are an accidentally vegan product, but they're so good. And I got the lingonberry jam, and we also got a bag of the plant balls, but we put those in the freezer already. And I thought it would be nice to make like a IKEA meatball meal at home with this and some potatoes and the plant balls. We got a wooden spoon because ours broke recently. I ended up getting some tea towels because all of our dish towels are really, really old. So I just got a few. And then this 4-pack that I thought was cute. Of course, with IKEA, you always end up buying so many things that you weren't intending on buying, but you just always find something you need. So then I ended up getting the white pegboard. I got the square one and I got 2 so that I could put the 2 beside each other because I just kind of want to put a lot more up there. And then to go along with that, I just got some of the accessories. So these are little knobs. I got some of the hooks. I got some long hooks and this set of few different things. There's like a tray, there's a cup, some hooks, and some clips. I will definitely show tomorrow when I'm setting up the boards. I'll like show everything together. And I also, this is like really random. This is like a dish mat or drying mat, but I ended up getting it for my sewing machine. The bottom of my sewing machine always scratches up my table, so I just got this to put under it when I'm sewing. Another random purchase that I wasn't intending on getting, I got a new lamp. This one, it's red. I got this for my desk, and I'm gonna give the little lamp that I have on this desk to my partner for his desk. The last thing I got was another one of these cabinets that I'm gonna put right here. It doesn't look like it will fit, but it will. I've measured it. That's gonna store all of my fabric. So I have a busy day in store tomorrow for setting all this stuff up. Okay, so it's the next day. It's Tuesday morning now. It's a very gray and rainy day. I don't think it's actually cold though. It says it's high of 22, so it's really just not feeling like October. Anyway, I have a few things that I want to get done today. I really want to assemble that cabinet that I got last night at IKEA and put it up and start putting my fabrics and just like basically everything that's scattered all over the floor right now. And I also want to put up those pegboards on the wall and set those up with all of my sewing tools. I have a doctor's appointment at 2:40, so I need to keep an eye on the time so I can go to that. And last night I didn't end up getting to work on the merch project, so I definitely need to work on that today. I ended up FaceTiming one of my long distance best friends last night, which was really nice, but we spoke for like 2 hours, so I didn't end up getting to that. But yeah, it's still really messy in here, but I think it's coming together slowly, and I think after I set up those couple things today, it's gonna look a lot better, so I'm really excited. just got to the doctor's office. I have like 8 minutes before my appointment starts, so I'm just waiting my car. There's a farm boy right beside my doctor's office, and I always like to go there when I come for the doctor. So I think after I will hop over there, get a few things, and then back home to continue assembling IKEA furniture. Hey, so this is future me from Friday. I just realized that a bunch of the stuff I recorded did not have any sound, so I wanted to just fill you in and explain what I was doing here. So I finished setting up my pegboard, and I wanted to show you some of the accessories that I picked up that I'm going to use on the boards. So I got these longer hooks, some knobs, some shorter hooks, some clips, and this tray. These are just some cups that I store things like my sewing clips and measuring tapes and stuff in, and I just got an extra metal cup. So yeah, all of those are going to go on the board, and then these are the items that I'm actually going to be hanging up there. So now I will show you the process of setting all of that up. So here I'm getting set up to work on a little sewing project that I have. So this is actually something I'm working on for a friend of mine who is also my violin teacher, and we're doing a little work exchange. So in exchange for a lesson or two, I am mending and hemming some of his clothing. So he had a few shirts that he wanted hemmed and a pair of jeans. And I also have some mending of other things that I have yet to work on, but here's me getting started on that. I recently hemmed a whole bunch of my t-shirts. It was like really groundbreaking to learn how to do that because I have a short torso, so t-shirts are always so long on me and they never fit me quite right. I actually made a video on TikTok of me going through that process. If you want to watch it, I can link my TikTok down below. And I was following Sydney Graham's t-shirt hemming tutorial for that project. I will also link that video below. I did the same technique for the jeans actually as well. You basically preserve the original hem and the finish looks really clean in the end. So now that we're all caught up to where we were before my audio cut off, and yes, I have checked to make sure it's working, I can fill you in on what's going on today. So yes, it is Friday, and it's actually Thanksgiving this weekend, so I need to do a little bit to prepare for that. We're going away, so I need to pack. And just a few minutes ago, I finished preparing the dish that I'm bringing for Thanksgiving dinner, so I'm going to show you that. We're celebrating something very exciting in the family, so I wanted to make a special cake for one of my family members. And yeah, that's mostly what I plan on doing for the rest of the day. It's actually already 5 p.m., so I really just have the evening ahead of me of baking and packing. Okay, so here is what I am bringing to Thanksgiving. This is the butternut squash mac and cheese from Rainbow Plant Life. It's a vegan recipe. And I'm going to put this crispy panko topping on top and then bake it again, but I'm going to wait to do that tomorrow. This is one of my absolute favorite recipes in the fall. It is so good. I wouldn't say it necessarily tastes exactly like a regular dairy mac and cheese, but it is just a really, really yummy, super flavorful fall dish, and it's great with Thanksgiving dinner. This is really random, but I had to share this. I just got this package. Wait till you see what they have put in this very large box. So it's a lens cap for my camera. But look how ridiculous this is. Like, I'm sorry, this could have been in an envelope. This is literally the only thing in that box. It's ridiculous. I don't really have any elaborate plans for this cake. It's just a basic funfetti cake, and I'm just making a batch of frosting right now. I kind of wanted to add another flavor to the frosting, but I couldn't really think of anything that I had on hand. I have some freeze-dried strawberries, which make a really nice frosting, but 2 of the people who will be eating this cake can't eat strawberries, so that's out of the question. I'm just gonna keep it super basic. It doesn't need to be fancy, it just needs to be something that we can celebrate with. You know what, I think I'm gonna need an apron for this. You can't forget the salt when you're making frosting. It just brings out the flavor and cuts the sweetness a bit because buttercream is so sweet. I found a vanilla bean in the pantry, and I think I'm going to use some of that for the frosting. I just sliced it down the middle, and I'm scraping out the paste on the inside and adding it to my frosting. It's finally time to decorate the cake. This is always my favorite part. Of course, I've got to get the cake spinner out, one of my favorite tools. For as long as I can remember, I've just loved baking. I loved baking as a kid. I used to do a lot of baking when I was in high school, and decorating cakes has always been my absolute favorite. But unfortunately, I don't really get to do it all that much, unless it's a friend or family member's birthday. I guess you can always find a reason to make a cake, but I always love when there's a really special occasion to make a cake for, and this is definitely one of those moments. The funny thing is, I actually don't really like eating cake that much. I find most frostings way too sweet. It's not actually eating the cake that I love so much, but I think it's the creativity of the decorating that I love. And I just love making things for other people to enjoy. I guess I just love everything that a celebration cake represents. I also usually find this to be a very calming experience. I say usually because sometimes if it's not turning out, I do get quite frustrated, but at the end of the day, it's just a cake. Although in saying that, I do really love olive oil cake or any cake that doesn't have frosting. Okay, I'm gonna consider that a crumb coat, and then I'm gonna put it in the fridge for a little bit and come back to it. before I sign off on the vlog for this week, I wanted to show you the progress that I've made on setting up my workspace. Okay, so here is the view from afar. It's pretty dark out right now because it's a cozy rainy day. But yeah, I've mostly found a place for everything. I do need to find a place to hang these two pieces. I think maybe in my next vlog, I will show the process of making my window seat cushion. Fingers crossed. Here's my desk. I have my nice wool blanket, which I've been using like every day because it's been chilly in here. My sewing machine set up that I can easily bring it out when I want to sew. All of my sewing tools and accessories are within reach and organized. Here is my new lamp. As you saw, I got the second cabinet set up. I still need to get a handle for this because it didn't come with one, even though when I bought this cabinet, it did come with one. I've set up my art books up there. I do need to show you how perfectly my new cabinet fits. I did measure before buying the second one, and I knew that it was gonna fit, but I didn't know it was gonna be this tight. So here you can see there's this knob on a radiator, and it is like flush against it. And then on this side, it's like completely right up against the mantle, and somehow the door just manages to open. So I got so lucky with that, and I'm really happy with how that's all set up. I'm really happy with the progress that I've made so far. I think it's looking super cozy, and as I've been working in here over the past week, it's been really nice and everything's making sense. And yeah, I can't wait to continue to improve this space and make it even cozier